Once upon a time, in a sunny, green meadow filled with whispering grasses and colorful wildflowers, lived a very speedy hare. He had long, twitchy ears and powerful back legs that could carry him across the field in the blink of an eye. This hare was very proud of his speed. In fact, he loved to boast about it to all the other animals. "I'm the fastest creature in this whole meadow," he'd say with a flick of his nose. "No one can beat me in a race." Now, in that same meadow lived a tortoise. He had a strong, patterned shell on his back and moved with a slow, deliberate pace. He was a kind and thoughtful creature, always taking his time to notice the little things, like the way a dewdrop sparkled on a leaf, or the intricate design of a spider's web. He didn't mind being slow. He found joy in his steady journey through the world. One bright morning, the hare was boasting as usual, hopping from one foot to the other. "I'm so fast, I could run to the big oak tree and back before you've even taken a single step," he bragged, looking directly at the tortoise, who was calmly munching on a clover leaf. The other animals giggled, but the tortoise just smiled his slow, gentle smile. "Oh, I'm sure you are very fast, Mr. Hare," he said in his quiet voice. "But being fast isn't everything." The hare laughed out loud. "Not everything? It's the most important thing. I challenge you to a race, right here, right now. We'll race to the big oak tree at the edge of the woods and back. The first one to cross the starting line wins." The tortoise thought for a moment. He knew he was slow, but he also knew he was patient and determined. "All right, Mr. Hare," he replied. "I accept your challenge." All the animals gathered around, buzzing with excitement. A race between the fastest and the slowest creature in the meadow. A friendly fox waved a large leaf to start the race. "On your marks, get set, go!" he shouted. Whoosh! The hare shot off like an arrow from a bow. A cloud of dust was all that was left behind. He was so far ahead in just a few seconds that he was almost a tiny speck in the distance. The other animals cheered for his incredible speed. Meanwhile, the tortoise pulled his head out of his shell, took a deep breath, and began his journey. He put one foot in front of the other, slowly and steadily. Plod, plod, plod. He didn't look at how far the hare was. He didn't listen to the chatter of the crowd. He just focused on his own path, one steady step at a time, his eyes fixed on the distant oak tree. The hare ran, and in no time at all, he was halfway to the oak tree. He looked back over his shoulder. The tortoise was nowhere to be seen. "Ah," he scoffed to himself. "This is too easy. I'm so far ahead, I could take a little nap and still win." He found a shady patch of soft grass under a willow tree. The sun was warm, the breeze was gentle, and the buzzing of the bees was like a lullaby. "A quick rest will do me good," he yawned, stretching out his long legs. He closed his eyes, and soon he was fast asleep, dreaming of victory wreaths and cheering crowds. While the hare was dreaming, the tortoise kept going. Plod, plod, plod. He passed the babbling brook, listening to its happy song. He passed a field of bright yellow buttercups, nodding his head to them as he went. He saw a family of ladybugs marching up a blade of grass. He didn't rush, he just kept a steady, even pace. Eventually, the tortoise reached the shady spot where the hare was sleeping. He saw the hare curled up and snoring softly. The tortoise didn't stop to wake him or to boast. He simply smiled his quiet smile and continued on his way. Plod, plod, plod. One foot in front of the other. He finally reached the giant oak tree, its great branches reaching up to the sky. He touched his nose to its rough bark, marking the halfway point of the race. Then he turned around and began his long, slow journey back to the starting line. Plod, 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 hours passed. The sun began to dip lower in the sky, painting the clouds in shades of orange and pink. The hare finally woke up with a big stretch and a yawn. He looked around, feeling refreshed. What a lovely nap, he said. Now, where was I? Oh, yes, the race. He looked back toward the starting line. No sign of the tortoise. He looked ahead to the oak tree. Still no tortoise. Silly old tortoise, he chuckled. He must have given up and gone home. Confident he had all the time in the world, the hare decided to have a little snack. He nibbled on some sweet carrots growing in a nearby garden, then bounded around, enjoying the cool evening air. Finally, he decided it was time to finish the race. He sprinted toward the finish line, imagining the cheers of the crowd. As he got closer, he could hear the animals, but they weren't cheering for him. They were all shouting, "Go, Tortoise, go! You're almost there." The hare's ears perked up. He squinted, and there, just a few feet from the finish line, was the tortoise, moving with his slow, steady, determined pace. A jolt of panic shot through the hare. He'd been so sure of himself, so certain of his victory. He flattened his ears and ran as fast as he possibly could, his powerful legs pumping like pistons. He was a blur of white and brown flying across the meadow. But it was too late. Just as the hare lunged for the finish line, the tortoise took one last, slow, steady step and crossed it. The meadow erupted in cheers. The animals lifted the tortoise onto their shoulders, celebrating his incredible victory. The hare stood panting, his head hung low. He couldn't believe it. He, the fastest animal in the meadow, had lost to the slowest. The tortoise, from his perch, looked down at the hare with kindness in his eyes. "You are very fast, Mr. Hare," he said softly. "But you see, slow and steady wins the race." From that day on, the hare was still the fastest creature in the meadow, but he was no longer a boaster. He learned that being fast is a wonderful gift, but patience, focus, and never giving up are just as important. And he and the tortoise became the very best of friends. And now it's time for you to drift off to sleep. Just like the tortoise, take slow, steady breaths, in and out. Let your journey to dreamland be a calm and peaceful one. Good night and sleep tight.